Oregon's public defender shortage has been a long-standing issue across the state, but a new year-long program is being unveiled aiming to fill the crucial gap.
Plus, Senator Jeff Merkley told NewsWatch 12 he's pushing back against the U.S. Department of Labor as they announce a pause in some operations.
In the past couple of days, we've seen those highs hold steady, but we're in for a warm-up as we're working today and especially ending our week into the weekend. I'll have more details on what you can expect coming up.
Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6 a.m. on June 5th. Welcome to NewsWatch 12 this morning. I'm David Alvarado.
And I'm Carlos Murrieta. We first want to turn over to Storm Tracker 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress to see what our Thursday's going to look like.
Our Thursday is shaping up to be a pretty nice day ahead for us. It'll be a little bit warmer than the past couple of days, but lots of sunshine still going around. Our current temperatures, we're at 52 into Medford, 51 over into Montague, Klamath Falls, you're at 42 along the coast, a bit warmer into Brookings, we're at 67 degrees this morning. Now it is a bit breezier along the coast. We'll see those breezes pick up a bit throughout the day today. Another gusty day for us along the coast. Lighter winds as we're inland. But into the afternoon, like the past couple of few, it will be a bit breezy for us, but over east side, it'll be a bit lighter for us today. You'll see your typical afternoon breezes that we saw maybe last week. But over for us today, despite that cool start, we'll see those highs rise up and we'll be into the mid 80s for us today, maybe a couple of degrees warmer than what it was yesterday. And it's just the start of this warming trend we're going to see over the next couple of days, but still expect to see lots of sunshine ahead for us, maybe some clouds developing as we're later into the day areas over east side and into Northern California for us, but definitely going to be feeling pretty nice if you're looking to head outside. Now in the next couple of days, today is going to be feeling the most comfortable. So if you can head outdoors, I definitely would recommend today. But if you can't and you're working and holding it off into the weekend, you're going to want to make sure you're getting ready to head outdoors. Tonight, if you're over into the Rogues game, it is shaping up to be pretty nice, a bit breezy at the start. I'll have more details for you coming up in your next forecast.
It's been a busy start to fire season in Jackson and Josephine counties, with firefighters responding to 4 fires in just the first 4 days. Now here are some of the fires ODF Southwest along with local partners have already responded to. There's concern that with the hot and windy weather we are seeing, more fires could pop up. ODF says it's a joint partnership, not just with other fire agencies, but with the community to make sure we are all doing our part.
It's catching a lot of people off guard just because fires are starting and spreading a little bit more quickly than we might anticipate this time of year. But it really has to do with those conditions that we're seeing. It's been extremely hot, it's been extremely windy, and those are conditions that fires thrive in.
These hot and windy conditions will stick around for the rest of the week, so ODF is asking that you continue following restrictions and stay fire safe. A closer look at the fire regulations can be found on kdrv.com.
The Wairika police are asking Siskiyou County residents to double check their alerts for Ready Siskiyou after a notification for a prescribed burn led to more than 40 calls to the police department. The county transitioned to Ready Siskiyou for automated emergency alerts 3 years ago. All alerts send a text message, email, or phone call to those who signed up. The alert confused residents, leading to dozens of calls to Wairika police. All Siskiyou residents should take a few moments to download Genesis Protect from the App Store and double check their alerts are being sent to them.
We actually have a test coming up next Wednesday, so that if members of the public want to ensure that they're getting everything the way they should, make sure you're signed up, go to the website, check all the boxes that you need to check, but also look out next Wednesday when we push out that emergency test.
Siskiyou County has changed evacuation zones this year, so as you double check your alerts or sign up for Ready Siskiyou, make sure you know your evacuation zone because it might have changed. NewsWatch 12 has step-by-step instructions on our website on how you can sign up and be ready for fire season. In a water advisory, a routine water test revealed 2 creeks in the Rogue Valley have high levels of bacteria, making them unsafe for contact recreation. Those creeks are Jackson Creek from Jacksonville to Dean Creek Road, as well as Bear Creek near Lithia and Driveway Fields in Medford. Residents are asked to avoid ingesting the water and avoid any contact with open wounds. For a closer look at this advisory and the possible causes, head on over to our website, kdrv.com.
The U.S. Department of Labor has announced it will pause operations at all contractor-run Job Corps centers across the country by June 30th. 3 Oregon Job Corps centers, including one in Astoria, are at risk of shutting down. Senator Jeff Merkley is pushing back, calling the move both harmful and illegal. Merkley says 360 students statewide would be cut off mid-training, and he's urging the Labor Secretary, an Oregon native, to reverse the decision.
Going to have their efforts to get back on their feet and learn a trade interrupted in the middle. It's incredibly unfair, and it's also a violation of law.
The Department of Labor plans to terminate contracts for the programs, which helps young adults ages 16 to 24 train for careers. Merkley says the programs were funded by Congress and should not be shuttered without a fight. The senator also says a formal investigation is underway.
And for years, the constitutional right to provide an attorney has been at risk in Oregon. That's due to a statewide public defender shortage.
That's right. But the Oregon Public Defense Commission is rolling out an aggressive plan to fill that gap. Aaron Ariano shows us the official plans to help the 4,400 Oregonians currently in need of an attorney.
The 12-month plan released by the Oregon Public Defense Commission is identifying at least 7 key ways to address and fix the public defender shortage across the state. The main counties that are a key focus include Coos, Douglas, Jackson, Marion, Multnomah, and Washington counties. Caitlin Plummer is the executive director for Public Defender Services of Lane County.
It places a really important emphasis on recruitment and retention of attorneys, because fundamentally we just don't have enough attorneys in public defenders in Oregon.
She says the shortage is unprecedented. That's how the commission describes the situation in Coos County, showing the number of out-of-custody defendants in need of representation peaking at around 130 people in November of 2024. But the commission says Coos County is already seeing a positive trend. That number has dropped by a quarter this year. They say in part to sending a lawyer down for a year-long assignment. And that's one of several ways the commission is trying to help, giving nonprofit public defense firms better contracts that will allow them to hire more public defenders, even recently graduated ones. They're also compensating experienced attorneys for voluntarily taking on more cases. Legal professionals across the state are optimistic. The Oregon District Attorneys Association says they're encouraged to see the plan, calling it the most comprehensive set of proposed solutions they've seen to date.
And I think it's important to remember that this crisis has been sort of decades in the making, and that we have sort of underfunded and under-resourced public defense for a long time. And I think we're seeing the effects of that now. So I think this plan is a great first step.
As the plan rolls out, we'll have to wait and see the impacts it'll have on the remaining 4,400 defendants across the state in need of an attorney. I'm Aaron Ariano reporting.
Onto a money alert this morning. The Oregon Commission on Historic Cemeteries has just awarded over $62,000 in grants, and those grants will be going to 11 historic cemetery projects throughout Oregon, including one right here in Medford. The funds will be coming from the Historic Cemeteries Grant Program, and those funds will be helping supporting preservation efforts with tree care and survey. The Eastwood IOOF Cemetery in Medford will be getting in on some of that grant money. Individual award amounts range from $3,500 to over $8,000.
If you love football and are a duck season ticket holder, the price is going up. The University of Oregon is trying to raise additional funds to cover the more than $20 million price tag for name, image, and likeness, also known as NIL. The cheapest season tickets for 2025 season start at $339, $60 more than last year. And while the most expensive tickets for the upcoming season sit at $2,600, a $100 jump from 2024, fans we spoke with say they are not thrilled about the news.
I don't think it's a good idea. I think the university has plenty of money. They don't need to keep increasing all the time.
Like who's going to go to the games? You know, if they raise their prices, less people are going to go.
Oregon has its own NIL collective, and donors can help fund even more money for student athletes through the Division Street Collective, which is separate from the NIL cap universities are held to. Oregon State is trying its own model by charging $3 per ticket as a student enrichment fee. being added to all tickets and parking passes for the 2025-2026 athletic year.
And the champs are back in town and showing off their hardware. The SOU Raiders softball team held their championship parade in Ashland just yesterday, and the streets were packed with SOU fans on Siskiyou Boulevard, welcoming back their team on their way to the Lithium Motors Pavilion. On the way to the pavilion, they showed off the trophy, the red banner, as well as recapping their whole season. NewsWatch 12 Sports' Luke Doan will be sharing the players' reactions and more coming up this morning at 6:45, so stay tuned for that.
Overall today isn't going to be looking too different from the past few, except our high temperatures are going to be a little bit warmer and maybe a little bit less breezy areas over east side for us today. But expect some pretty warm temperatures. Will be up into the mid 80s for us in the Rogue Valley. Around the region, we can still expect to see those warm temperatures. Like I mentioned, a couple of degrees warmer than the past couple of days, but we'll really start to feel those changes tomorrow. But we'll be back up into the 90s into the Rogue Valley, and we'll even see the 90s for us east side into the weekend. So I'll have more details on your days to come coming up in about 7 minutes.